This is the excavation mini-series. So we are going to see the beginning parts of the excavation. And then the second trip, as part of this video, you'll see the more progress that we've made. So check it out. Boom! What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American. And if you want to know what it's like to build a house in Africa, then this is the video for you. All right, cool. So this is video number 10 in this series on building a house in Africa. And this is part one of a new mini series that I'm doing on the excavation of the property. This was done all by hand with regular tools. And so it's quite the process. Over about 3 to 4 weeks to get this excavation done. It was about 3 weeks. And so I'm going to go through each stage of the process and what it looked like. So this is the excavation series, mini series. So we're going to go to the property and we're going to see a couple things. It's kind of two parts. It's 2 trips back to the property. One, we are going to see the beginning parts of the excavation, right? What it looks like to get started, just start digging as much as they can. They find a lot of giant rocks in the ground. And so they have to kind of use picks to try to dig through each of those rocks and move them out of the way and continue to do their digging. So we're going to see that as part one, or as the first trip as part of this video. And then the second trip as part of this video, you'll see the more progress that we've made. And then some of the other things that we have to think about in terms of the boys' quarters now that we've gotten measurements and we've talked to the architect about how things are supposed to go. So check it out. All right, guys, so we're back at the property. They have started the excavation process, so I want to show you what that looks like. They literally started 2 or 3 days ago, so it's in the early stages. But what they've done is the land, if you remember, went up on a slope, so they started to try to flatten it out. So some of the land that was in the back, they went over here to backfill it in the front here. So let's go inside and take a look. As you can see over here, they started to backfill it in. If you remember before, it was kind of like a low ditch here. So it was just empty. It's kind of empty and it sloped straight down. So they took it and moved it this way. So let's come see where they took the dirt from. So as you can see all right here, this was all sloping up that way. So what they've done is they started to dig, and you can see the rock they put here. This is some sand from before, but they basically dug all of that so far. So this is all like 1 day's worth of work, maybe 2 days worth of work. So they're going to go all the way back to that wall and try to flatten it about this level here, the way you see it now. All right, so that's it for now. So this is how high it used to be up here. And you can see the difference. That's the tree stump I'm keeping. I'm going to make it a table. All right, guys, so we're back at the property. We're about a week and a half in. In the next couple of days, they'll finish the excavation process. But if you remember the last time we came here, we talked about flattening all of this and taking it back and putting it over there. So if you look here, you see all the dirt that's there. It's piled up there. So that's everything that was in the back. Now that's going to be used to backfill for the house. So we're going to reuse that. That's going to come for the house. But for right now, it's just sitting there. And so some of the stones that come out of the ground, I'll show you, is this here. And you see these stones here. So you have to manually break them with a hammer, right? So they manually break these, and it breaks in the rocks like that. And so, but you can see the land is starting to flatten out a little bit more. So it'll be up on an incline a little bit, but not as big of a slope as it was before. And to remember what it looked like before, all you got to do is just look at the difference between here and here. So that's how high up this land was before. So you see how much they've gone down and excavated. This is all manual labor. They do this by hand. Now this tree, I'm planning to keep because my great-great-great-grandmother planted this tree. And so because this tree was planted and we had to cut it down because it was dying, in order to develop on the land, we had to cut it down. I still want to keep the tree. So I'm going to make this a coffee table in the living room. So we're going to cut it out. This is why they've been so careful digging around it. They're just getting around the roots now. So they're going to cut it out from here. We're going to flatten the bottom, and then it's going to become a coffee table in the living room on the main floor. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, cool. So that is what it looks like to begin the process of excavating on the property. There's a whole lot more to do. We're definitely going to show you more in the upcoming videos. But if you like what you saw here, you found it interesting at all, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Make sure to share it with anybody who's thinking about building in West Africa, specifically in Sierra Leone. If they want to know what it's like to build a fence, to build a house, excavate your land, all of that stuff, that's what the series is all about, is to help people find out and understand what it takes. So that's it for today. I look forward to see you all in the next video. All right, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, comment, and share it with your friends. All right, see you on the next video.